Hello, folks. Phil Gallagher here, and welcome back to Combo Week on Thraben University. Sean K has donated to see a handful of different combo decks and different formats, and today we're going to be looking at Vintage. So I went to MTG Goldfish, or maybe it was MTG Top 8, and I just went into the other combo category looking for something spicy, and oh, boy did this deck list deliver. So I believe this deck list comes from Japan, from Kitano Takatoshi, who built a Cyberdrive Awakener combo deck. So this is a card that I've never actually seen before, and it feels like something that should be an Autobot or a Decepticon or something. So it's a 4/4 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield until end of turn, each non-creature artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 4/4. So, for those of you that play Legacy and you're used to a Crater Hoof coming down, pumping all of your elves into very large creatures, and then you swing for lethal, this is very much the idea that is present in this deck list. In addition to a number of other combos. So, combo finish number 1 is literally just cast a 6-mana card that should kill your opponent. And that's kind of cool. And it's especially cool because you get to play some absolute bullshit caliber lands in Vintage. So, given that, this is an artifact creature and Mishra's Workshop makes 3 mana for artifact spells, that is a very powerful 1-card combo. 1-card combo in that, you need to control some artifacts, but, I mean, look at the deck list. Come on, we're going to control some artifacts. And the next combo that's in the deck list is the Time Vault and Voltaic Key, or Manafold Key combo. So this is something that lets you get infinite turns. You can tap a Time Vault to take an extra turn, but, since this is a 2 colorless mana card, you normally have to skip a turn first in order to do that. But if you just have something that lets you untap your artifacts, well, you can just kind of skip the middleman there and just go to town and take infinite turns. And if you're taking infinite turns, you can win the game somehow. Even if it's just attacking with a couple of 2/2 flyers a handful of times. Combo number 3 is just a 1-card combo again, air quotes because you have to get another card from your deck, but the all-powerful Tinker spell, which frequently will just get us a Bolas' Citadel, which lets us look at the top card of our library, and we can play lands and spells from the top of them. And we can technically also sacrifice 10 non-land permanents to fire a giant death laser, although that's probably not going to come up too often. It does come up, and if you want to get real cute, you can sack 10 permanents, untap it with a Manafold Key, and then sack another 10 permanents, but, you're working real hard if you end up doing that. Supplementing the rest of the deck are a handful of other cards that kind of fall into the single card combo or close to it category. Mystic Forge really lets you just churn through your deck, and again is another way to cast spells off the top of your library. This isn't going to be as all-in of a combo as it is in, say, the Legacy version, where, when you're playing a Mystic Forge, you're pretty likely to play your entire deck in one turn. We're not going to go quite that deep here, since we are, a multifaceted deck, but it should be real good. And then we have Karn the Great Creator, which... and I'm going to go ahead and pull out my sideboard here now, which most of the sideboard is built around, despite this being a one-of, which might feel pretty weird, but, Karn is as powerful as you will make it, and the card is restricted in Vintage for a reason. So we can go the whole, Karn Mycosynth Lattice combo route, or we can use it to tutor up a combo piece, or a handful of different hate cards for the format. Graveyard decks like Dredge and the Hollow One / Hogak decks are very powerful, and so are assorted Storm and Storm adjacent decks like Paradoxical Outcome. So we are a very, very strange combo deck in that we're taking part of the Mishra's Workshop shell that is usually used for oppressive prison elements like Trinisphere, Chalice of the Void, Sphere of Resistance, Lodestone Golem, and instead trying to use it in a more combo-heavy direction. There's also a really cute card in here that I don't have much experience with, Coveted Jewel. It is a 6-mana colorless draw 3 cards that's also a recurring Black Lotus. Phil, this card sounds like bullshit. There must be a downside. Okay, yeah, there's some fine print here. Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls attacks you and aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards, gains control of Coveted Jewel, and they get to untap it as well. So that's a super neat card, but it is one of the highest risk, highest reward cards that I have ever seen in any format. Yeah, I'm really excited to try this one out. This deck is wild and wacky, and I hope it performs decently. If you're new here and you like what's going on here, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're a regular, please throw me a like before the video begins. That is the easiest thing you can do to support a content creator for free. And like PS, it super matters on the vintage video, because like the vintage viewing audience is a little smaller than some of my other formats, but like, damn it, this format is fun. All right, let's battle. All right, round one here. Looking at sort of a weird opening hand. I have a decent amount of mana and a Force of Will for protection. I don't have any true gas. I'm not sure how much that matters because I can Expedition map for an Urza Saga at some point. Kind of a weird looking hand. I think I'll just keep it though. See what we're up against here. All right, well, okay, opponent can see what they're up against, I guess, more accurately. I wonder if I even play my Workshop on turn one. Because, like, the Expedition map based lines actually look pretty decent as of right now. I mean, no. Not gonna let you do that. But, like, my opponent is very clearly doing that, so it seems like they're going to have a force of their own or equivalent. Alright. Ancestral is good. Is there a world where I end up getting a Tolarian Academy instead with this? I guess there's worlds, but I don't have to make the decision now. I'll go ahead and play my map and probably end up getting Urza Saga. I'll just pass the turn here. I don't really want to play a top more than I want to get Urza Saga going. Alright, sure. I assume you're fetching into something. Okay, sure. Oh! Okay. I mean, good card is good. I just, like, wasn't expecting that. But I haven't been playing a ton of Vintage. It's been probably 2 months since I've played a game of Vintage. If I want to actually answer the Ragavan, I can get Tolarian Academy, like, play Workshop, play Shop, use this to get my blue, play Thought Monitor, try to trade that with Ragavan. Alright. Let's do that. Oh, I can just draw a Saga as well. I'm debating whether or not I want to, like, spin a top this turn. I think I probably will. Potentially want to spin top twice, in fact. So let's go ahead and activate this. I can leave the Workshop on top to... Okay, we changed sizes randomly there. Kind of blank my opponent's draw. And I think I'm going to go the Thought Monitor route. So I'll just, like, leave this Workshop on top, which, like, my opponent is a Luris deck, so it's not really going to do anything. And be good with that, and then I can work on rearranging with the Mox Emerald to do something more meaningful with my next turn's mana. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana currently. Alright. This is officially in, like, this is bad territory. Alright. Why do we keep doing that, Moto? I am just going to leave this in play for artifact count for things like Tolarian Academy. Alright, so how much do you currently cost? You currently cost 5. Let's call that good. Let's not squeeze in the prophetic prism ahead of time. No. Now I might have to, just for the sake of... Or no, I know there's a bad card on top of my library, right? I guess I just wait till next turn and then I try to Urza Saga my way out of this. This game has not started well. Yep. Bye-bye Tolarian Academy. Life is pain. I'm not, like, technically dead here, but I don't get very many activations of Ancient Tomb here. Yeah, so we'll use this. Play the Prophetic Prism. That gives me some mana fixing. Force of Will is absolutely not what I am looking for here. And so I go to 5 from this attack, and then next turn I can make some Urza Saga construct tokens in a way that creates large bodies. But I am not expecting to get myself out of this jam. Stuff can happen, but like opponent pulled ahead with Ancestral and then had 2 forces for my most relevant cards and a cripplingly powerful hate card that they just kind of drew naturally. I guess at this point I should really start thinking Odo. Really start thinking ahead to sideboarding. I guess I have like 2 dismembers. And I can think about playing something like a defense grid. Yeah, something approximating that is probably the plan. The issue with Dismember is that, like, my opponent is a Luris deck, so I can kill a Collector Oof and it'll just come back, like, 3 turns later. That is very expressive iteration for Black Lotus. Absolutely fuck me. Ugh. Alright, so this mana can only be used to cast artifact spells, so I am just, like, A-okay to use that to cast a Prophetic Prism. And let's see what we get off of that. An Awakener. That will kill my opponent. Huh. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm gonna end up real close here. If my opponent just has a removal spell and can answer the Urza Saga token that I make, I die. Because I'll go to 3 life in tapping this Ancient Tomb. But it feels to me like I'm supposed to try and ambush one of these things in combat. I don't know, maybe that's... I can't get extra artifact mana out of my deck and use it. Like, I can't just grab Black Lotus because of Collector Oof. Yes, I will be allowing you to draw those 3 cards, although it really fucking pains me to do so. I just don't think I can force in this situation. Like, this is my way to steal this game. Oh, neither one coming in. Do I make the Construct token? Because if I don't make the Construct token, I can just play this thing and attempt to swing for lethal. Or no, I'll be swinging for 16. It's not technically lethal. Or no, it is. They fly. They fly. One has 7 cards, though. Ah! I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna play towards, like, drawing a blue card to back this up. Bolas' Citadel, right on time. Right on time. Damn. Do it. It doesn't super matter what I get here. Like, the stuff can't be activated. I'm going to grab a Black Lotus on the off chance that the Collector Oof does end up leaving play. And then I'm going to pray. I feel like this gets countered and I die. But it would be real cool if that's not the case. I am very much afraid of, like, my long-term prospects of winning this game, so I'm absolutely just going for my kill here. I'm on my little robot friend, who looks kind of like, what is it, Lord Conti from FLCL, for those of you in the age demographic where you understand that reference. Force of Vigor. Yup. Oh, they got my Black Lotus, though, rather than one of my other things that can attack. So, like, that's good. Oh, this means my opponent is only getting hit for 12, though. I mean, 12's still good. Fuck me! What? Alright. 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 I try to do my cool thing in game 1, round 1. Just get denied. Defense grid is coming in after that bullshit. Alright, defense grids and dismembers seem reasonable. What do I not want here? Maybe I don't play Coveted Jewel versus my opponent with, like, many small creatures like Deathrite Shaman, Ragavan, Collector Oof. That seems reasonable to me. Then I just have to cut one other card somewhere. What's a Talisman of Progress? a blue-white talisman. That seems relatively expendable to me. It's weird to keep all my Force of Wills if I'm bringing in Defense Grid, but like it's a 1 of Defense Grid, so that's probably whatever. Talisman better or worse than a Prophetic Prism? Probably worse. Prophetic Prism draws a card. Alright. Urza Saga Soul Ring Prophetic Prism is a pretty respectable turn 1, and I have Force of Will to stop something degenerate that my opponent does. I think I'm okay with that. I guess it becomes a little awkward if my opponent has, like, a mental misstep in particular. But we'll figure out what I do if it's necessary for me to do so. Hello, combo finish friend. I wonder if this is a, like, I now have double Force of Will backup situation and I don't even think about playing these cards. Like, I will have the ability to absolutely threaten a combo finish extremely quickly. I don't know that I will actually do so, given how this looks. Having to deal with Force of Vigor, in addition to all the other things that my opponent has going on, is a little scary. Yeah, I think you get that. Like, card's good. I think you get that. Card's also good. But I have bigger fish to fry, like this shit right here. I think I am going to keep the other Force of Will in my hand. Goodbye, combo finish card. I think we are a good guy Urza Saga deck this round. Yeah. That is just a plus purely for loyalty there. And let's see where this goes. Sandra, how much do you cost? Just for reference, you cost 5, so we're not even there anyway yet. Although I should get there next turn. My Urza Saga construct. Recurring Wasteland here is pretty bad for me because I let the Ren and 6 resolve, and I think it was correct too. But my lands being eaten repeatedly does not sound fun to me. I am now in the situation where I'm very much trying not to Force of Will. Alright, that is just a Luris to hand, which is absolutely a problem. Tinker, huh? Tinker, you say? So question, like, do I just Tinker for Bolas' Citadel, right? I just Tinker for Bolas' Citadel. I'll play the land out as well. Give myself extra mana to work with here. Sacrifice the Prophetic Prism. Alright, get Bolas' Citadel. And let's try to go to town. Yeah, there's what I get for trying to play around a Daze effect. Such is life. I'll poke that Ren and 6 down, I think. Missing on the Bolas' Citadel there is not great. But I would have felt quite bad if I, like, went for it and then just, like, got hit by a Daze or something like that, like, I could have played around. Yep. Deathrite Shaman is good, but fine. I'm trying to fry some bigger fish here. What do you cost currently? Oh, 7 life is what you cost. That is how that is going to work. Okay. Ow. Yes, I will draw those cards. Okay. We're going places. We're absolutely going to the moon here. Oh, right. Life. There's Manafold Key. This is free. Nice. I have a Karn that I can pretty easily cast. Auto Y. I get to 10 total mana. +1 right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Not currently. I'd have to work a little harder. You cost 1. I'm fine with casting that to just get the Emery off the top of my library here. That replaces the blue card in my hand. A Metamorph. What if Metamorph becomes Soul Ring? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm a little short. I'm okay with that. Just kind of keep going here. I think I just take another flyer. Alright. I'm not going to play that, I don't think. Go 1, 2. Untap that. 3, 4. Arn. Sideboard, what are we looking at in terms of things? Trinisphere sounds great. So let's go ahead and minus this. Yes. Trinisphere. Workshop. 3-drop. Slam this. Go to combat. Crash in for 9. Pretty good. I can also activate a Bolas' Citadel at any time if my opponent gets cheeky with me and just kill them. Okay, yeah, good stuff. It's possible getting the Trinisphere there isn't good because like I do just have a Force of Will in my hand, but it seems like with like shutting off 2 onboard Moxen doesn't leave my opponent with enough resources to just deal with what I have going on. There's the combo side. There's just Tinker for a broken card. And I don't think I'll change anything about my sideboarding. This is a pretty fair Urza Saga hand. Probably gets unfair relatively quickly. I'm going to keep this thinking that, like, this combination of cards will allow me to grind similarly to what my opponent does. And most of my non-land draws are going to be reasonable to good at this point. So, like, while I don't exactly love everything that's here, I think it's going to be fine. Alright, you got Time Walk. Like, that's a glorified Explore here. Like, it's good, but I'm not overly worried unless my opponent has a Collector Oof in their opening hand, is how I was going to finish that thought. Cool. Yeah, we'll lead on Urza Saga, I guess, and be very much all in on that plan. That is not where I wanted to be this early in the game. Like, I really... God damn it. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I got an awful lot of nothing going on here. So, given that I have an awful lot of nothing going on, I think we're gonna do something that looks like this. We're gonna go ahead and play a Metamorph, copy my opponent's Collector Oof, and kinda stare at each other for a little while. Opponent can be in a really good position if they have like a Ren and 6 to follow this up, but otherwise I maybe get some time to get to a like Thought Monitor in a meaningful way. 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be 5 towards that. Not quite there this turn, so let's go Prophetic Prism, just try to draw into more artifacts that I can play out. Force of Will's reasonable. I will play Mox Opal. And I think I am going to go ahead and put an Emery into play. It's pretty likely to hit something that matters in some capacity. Alright, and it has resolved. Okay, those aren't great. Like, playing a Prophetic Prism from the graveyard is not the end of the world. And so the next question is, do I attack with this Collector Oof? I don't think I do. I think I don't want to take the damage, considering that I have 2 Ancient Tombs in hand. So now I have 2 artifacts towards this. This costs 5, so like it's absolutely castable. The other Otawara is not great. To confirm, actually it costs 4. I can make it cost 3 by playing something from Graveyard. I could go like Prison from Graveyard for 2 mana, have 1 floating, and be good with that. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Target Prism. Yeah. Pay some mana for it. Draw a card. Yeah, getting something that's blue so I can have a pitch target for Force is totally reasonable. What do you cost? You cost 3. I will play an Ancient Tomb in order to do that. And I want to use my artifact-specific mana first here. Pyroblast. I will just replay that from the graveyard next turn. I'm not going to fight over that. And I'll call it a turn here. Yeah, we are absolutely in backup plan territory. But I'm doing surprisingly well given that my artifacts were shut off and my Urza Saga got wastelanded. Opponent nukes my graveyard. Shit gets kind of weird for me. I'm not super expecting that at like a meaningful speed. Opponent has Deathrite Shaman in their deck. Oh wow, that is the concession there. All right. Weird game. Expected to be stone cold dead after my opponent's opener, but we wiggled through. All right, I've kept my opening hand for this round, and I just get to start on a Mystic Forge, just like no questions asked with Force of Will backup. So this probably is disgusting in a very different way than some of the things in the other round were. Bolas the Citadel on top, huh? We're not gonna draw that. That'll make Inker a little worse later, though. So I'm going to set a stop on my own upkeep so that I don't have to draw that Tundra if I don't want to. I probably want to because it just lets me play Thought Monitor. But I get to think about it. Yeah, I think I will draw it. All right, Mana Crypt. As we know, Tails never fails. Never, not even once. I will go ahead and draw the Tundra. Free Mox Opal. I think I'm just going to keep churning cards off the top here and see where that goes. Because this probably gets gross. Don't want another one of those. I will pay the life there. Lotus is cool. Yeah, we're going off. This is absolutely combo territory. This is a single mana now. Absolutely disgusting. I am enjoying this. Can't take that one off the top innately, but can I turn this into blue? No, I can't. So I will use Mana Crypt mana, and then play a Thought Monitor and clear off the top of the library that way. We do still have like Lotus, or sorry, yeah, okay. Fun is just like fucking done with me. All right. We have seen Deathrite Shaman. I think I'm probably gonna board similarly to last round, like not seeing very much of what our opponent is doing here, where I went like Trinispheres and Dismembers in, and then I think I took a Talisman out and the Coveted Jewels. That seems an okay start to me. My opponent might have fewer creatures this time around, but like if they are in a Deathrite Shaman shell, like there's gonna be more critters running around, so I think I'm okay with this. I have tempted fate, and I have been punished for my hubris of putting blue cards in a Mishra's Workshop deck, or putting Mishra's Workshop in a blue deck, depending on how you're looking at it. Despite the power of this hand, I think I just mulligan to something that's a little more reasonable. Okay. This hand is not innately great, but hopefully Thought Monitor just gets me out of this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana on turn 1. I could attempt a turn 1 Thought Monitor. I think I'm just going to attempt to kill the Ragavan instead, though. I don't have Metalcraft innately. Given that I don't have Metalcraft innately, I think I'm going to go yeah, let it go to my opponent's turn to show off Force of Negation and then dismember this. If this land was blue, I would probably just do this now, though. We'll go upkeep, target that little monkey man, and send him to the graveyard. And we don't have a Luris to worry about this time to just bring it back. And this is why... Oh, wow, Bob. This is why I played out Ancient Tomb prior to Mishra's Workshop, just by the way. Just throwing that out there. I think I hide the Workshop in my hand rather than play it out. I think I'm willing to miss that land drop to not get this wastelanded. It's just going to be so important to chaining off those Thought Monitors. I go to 14 here, and then I just imagine my opponent wastelands me 100% of the time. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Inker. Inker's cool. I will play this land drop at this point. I think I am a blue source or an artifact away from doing cool shit. Hopefully opponent doesn't have a follow-up wasteland. I know they do have an Assassin's Trophy, which is awkward. They still don't have at least one color of mana, though. So, like, not everything's bad here. Go to 12. All right, here we go. Good draw step. That absolutely counts. So let's Mana Crypt, which is a little risky. Mox Opal, which does have Metalcraft, and now it's a question of like which one of these things do I do? I've seen so few cards from the other side of the battlefield. I think I'm gonna. Oh man, this is so much mana. It's kind of not though, right? I think I'm gonna go for this. Just kind of try to play this in a little bit of a fair way, bait out some counter spells, and then go for a win with some amount of this stuff. It's a blast, absolutely. So having to play out the Mana Crypt to get Metalcraft is a little risky given how much pressure is in play. So opponent can eat my Ancient Tomb to make green, then get back Wasteland. This is no bueno. And yeah, seems like opponent is on board. Although they gave a little information away there. They didn't. Or no, sorry, that's Mox Jet. Never mind, wrong Mox. And absolutely fuck me. Okay. Think we're going to the next game. Stuff can happen. Heads or I'm dead? Yeah, see, told you. Another workshop. I don't super see the worlds in which I'm getting out of this. I am taking Force of Vigor too. Alright. Alright. We can stop. We can stop. Okay. I don't think I'm really going to change anything here. I like the Dismembers, and I think I still like the Trinus here, especially when I'm on the play now. Or so, maybe it was Defense Grid I wanted, not Trinisphere. Oh well. We'll think about that later. Okay. Yes. Yes. Mana Crypt into Mana Vault, into Academy, into Ancestral, into question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, Prophet, I believe is the sequencing for this hand. Alright. Crypt. Into Vault. Into yeah. Ancestral, target me, and I will absolutely force to protect it if necessary. It is not necessary. So I will follow up with Opal, Force of Vigor on 2 mana sources. Those are just getting destroyed, and I'm about to have an Emery. I'm good with that. Jet to back it up, and Emery. It gets awkward if his Emery gets countered, because I will have Stone Cold Nothing. But otherwise, like, I will have a graveyard with multiple things in it that I can play. Alright, so that wasn't as busted as it could have been, but that was still really damn good. Here's to hoping that opponent just like plays a 1-drop dork that I can just dismember. Alright. Life has switched to bad mode, but I have a bunch of random things that I can top deck that will be extremely powerful. Do I play Ancient Tomb? I believe I am willing to take the 2 damage to leave my blue open here. It's a little weird if I draw Urza's Saga specifically. Okay. So, let's drop a Soul Ring. And I have Hardcast Force of Will very much available. Alright. Now that becomes a past tense I had. Alright, come on, draw 2 off the top of the deck. Alright. So let's go kill you for a colorless, a black, and a Phyrexian black. And I am just willing to do that now to open up my mana to potential top decks. Exhibit A, potential top decks. I think that is absolutely worth playing. Some weird hits in the graveyard now. 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 mana, but not blue available. Alright, what am I getting out of my graveyard here? I guess it's just top as of right now. It's a little unimpressive. But it's just like what I can cleanly currently do with my mana. I should have tapped Soul Ring for that. Alright, let's take a little peek. Thought Monitor. So if I draw a card, I will control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, Thought Monitor goes on top. Tap that, draw a card. Play a Lotus. This will cost 2 total mana to do. This will redraw my top. Mindbreak Trap. So oddly, this exiles, meaning I can't replay it with Emery. Is this worth my Lotus to do? I think so, given that my opponent's Hellbent. That's 5. Alright. I'll take my draw 2 here. Play Ancient Tomb. 1 of that life to replay the top. And I'll respin this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good. Let's go Force of Will on bottom there. And then Mystic Forge on top. Okay, I expect to win this game now. Like, very powerful things can happen here. Wow, that was a very quick concession. Alright, this deck's feeling pretty good. Alright, if I'm keeping this hand, I am keeping sort of a Urza Saga hand, which I guess is okay. We're playing against Justin Gennari, probably the vintage streamer. Goes by the handle I am actually level 1, makes great content. Consider checking him out if you really enjoy vintage, but like if you really enjoy vintage, like you probably already know Gennari, so you know. Gennari kind of does what I do for vintage in that like he plays a little bit of everything and doesn't necessarily always play the things that are best, so we could have a absolute wacky bullshit mirror. So who knows what we got going on here. And let's untap this Soul Ring just for the lols. We got Force of Will to back up the start. I am a little soft to Wasteland. Okay, we're playing against an Underground Sea deck. I'm gonna let the Lotus resolve. Good card is good. Oh, that's a lot of mana. Okay. I saw this earlier. I think he's playing like a Ledger Shredder Reanimator deck. I don't think I can attack this here. This is a draw 2, then discard a card unless there's 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard. And my opponent actively, I believe, does want to discard currently. Okay, yeah, there is a Ledger Shredder. I think I let my opponent entomb. And then I think I force a Reanimate if that happens. Right, there's the Grizzlebrand. I'll junk the Reanimate. I think in a format as powerful as Vintage, I don't get to attack the Enabler. I just kind of assume that my opponent doesn't have too many reanimation spells, and I just attack those instead. We're a combo deck. Absolute full-fledged combo deck. I mean, yeah. Time Vault. Yep. That was good clean game of Magic there. All right. What do I have to fuck around with this? I can play Graveyard Hate in the main deck, but like it's probably better. Maybe it's not better served as a Karn target. Because like bringing that in means it's an Urza Saga target as well. I don't know that Dismember is going to consistently kill Ledger Shredder. I could balance my opponent to get rid of large creatures like Grizzlebrand and... Okay. Maybe I don't sideboard. Yeah, maybe I don't sideboard, because, like, Dismember's okay at dealing with Ledger Shredder, but not always going to kill it. And I would hate to, like, pay 4 life for a Dismember, and then my opponent, like, casts some spells in response and then grows it out of range. Yeah, let's board in a Soul Guide Lantern over, like, a Talisman or something, and then call it good. I don't think it's crazy to try Balance or Aethersworn Canonist either. Turn 2, Tinker with Force of Will backup, considering that I get a turn 1 Time Walk. Hands look good. I will be keeping this. Justin has gone to 6. And, we'll see what he can, put up here. Alright, let's just start with Ruby into Time Walk and go from there. I don't know that I will just immediately jam a Tinker. I don't know, like maybe I just do with Force of Will backup. Yeah, I probably just do with... Woohoo! A lot of mana. It's also a pretty respectable bait spell. I don't think it would get countered, but, you know, there's worlds. All right. So let's go 1, 2, float mana, 3, 4. We'll tinker, sending away a Mox Ruby. Okay. We are getting movement, which is not unexpected. And what you got? A Brainstorm, absolutely. Are we resolving? Oh, we're resolving. So we will get Bolas's Citadel here. This is legendary, so I think I'm just chilling, unfortunately. I'm chilling with a Force of Will in hand, though, so, like, that's not bad at the end of the day. What do I have to deal with here? Ancestral, target themselves. I think I'm gonna nope that one, pitching the other Force. And then I'll keep the Metamorph to potentially copy something that I play off of Bolas's Citadel. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong to fight over this and I should just, like, protect a Bolas's Citadel. But, like, I'm protecting versus Underground Sea, which is, like, not a land that's great at answering. Alright, so we've got Fluster. I can junk the Lotus to fight over this, which I think I'm fine with doing. Alright. That's a good exchange for my opponent in terms of resources, but, like, I have a Bolas's Citadel in play. Workshop? I think I'm gonna play the Workshop to just try to keep going here and get cards off my deck. But I am, like, really not fucking hitting with this. That is what it is. Bolas's Citadel. Not getting me where I need to go. Maybe I was greedy in, like, not just playing the Urza Saga and getting that started. I don't feel particularly bad about it. So this Ledger Shredder is going to grow immediately. So whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, this thing connives. I assume a Grizzlebrand is hitting the graveyard. Yes. Alright. I will play this Urza Saga. Ooh, a Transmute Artifact. I don't actually have... Or no, I pay for life. That's fine. What do I want in this situation? An Awakener's okay. I can also just, like, Transmute Artifact for... Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to cast this. Just junk the Mox Opal. I think I am just going to play fair. Oh, maybe I don't play fair. No. Let's just get a Soul Guide Lantern. Pay the one with Urza's Saga. Use that to take out that Grizzlebrand and just have it as a safety net. And just try to use this Bolas's Citadel in a fair way. Well, you know, as fair as this is going to realistically be. I could have copied my opponent's Ledger Shredder, but I might have better things to do with that. I'm at least hoping that I do by the time this is done. 6 life. 6 life, though. 6 life is a lot. I think I'm just going to mill that. Let's just take that off the top of the library. There's another Urza's Saga. The opponent has discarded a Sarah's Emissary. So I don't want to draw a card with that. I think I'm going to go 4. Play a Metamorph. Copy a Soul Guide Lantern. Use that to eat the Emissary. And just kind of be super safe from what opponent has going on. And then use some Urza Saga nonsense to close out this game very quickly. Alternatively, I can, like, Bolas's Citadel activation after connecting with an Urza Saga token once, and that will do it as well. Got a 10 here. And I don't think I want to do anything. I'm fine with drawing another Urza Saga, I think. I don't know, I can shuffle here with Expedition Map. It costs me blue mana. I think I'm okay with that. I have a Prophetic Prism if need be. Grab a Tolarian Academy. Oh, okay. We just found an Urza Saga again. Alright. Time Vault. That's legit. think that's worth 2 life. We'll play a Mana Vault. That's fine. You're 100% conniving this turn anyway. Like, I am good with that. Okay, a Bazaar is in there too. Absolutely. Ancestral. That's probably fine. That's worth a life. Okay. Do I play Workshop or do I just play Tolarian Academy? I just play Tolarian Academy. Or I guess I can cast this from hand first. Go Mox for this. Activate off of this. Yeah. Put the Workshop on bottom. And play these other two just to kind of off the top. And I'll use one of those. Oh, shit. I did not want to do that. It's not that bad, but I did not want to do that. That was just purely a misclick on the wrong ability. Okay, cool. Ancient Tomb, Karn, Manifold Key. Manifold Key goes on top. Thought I had Time Vault already, I guess. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just do it. So let's go tap this. Manifold Key. Untap Time Vault. Paying 1. Tap. Take an extra turn, and then we just crack with the construct tokens a couple of times. And we are now 3-0 with this deck. Good stuff. Hey Vintage peeps, Phil here. If you're enjoying this content, please leave me a like or comment on this video. Vintage videos don't do as well as other video types on my channel, but I really enjoy playing Vintage, so please keep incentivizing me to jam this awesome format. Alright, that's it. That's the plug. Back to the show. You know, folks, I'm about to do something I've never done before. That's cast a Coveted Jewel on turn 1. 3 mana, 6 mana, draw 3 cards, have a recurring Black Lotus in play. Wild. Like, with multiple Urza Sagas as, like, a deviation plan, should I need to do so. Alright, opponent. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what you're doing. It's called bullying, and it is rude. Absolutely. Chalice on 0 is quite strong here. I might need to pivot into an Urza's Saga game. Think about it for a second here. It's kind of a committal play. Urza Saga probably beats onboard Scavenging Ooze. Let's do it. The Urza Saga tokens are going to start out small. But since I have 2 Urza Sagas, like, it probably works itself out. I don't know exactly what my opponent is playing. It could be like a green-white Hapers deck. Red, green. Okay. I was not expecting to see Abundant Harvest in Vintage. Or Sylvan Scrying? Alright, YouTube, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am a little confused. Timestamp this if you know what's going on and tell me what this is. Because, I don't know that I will figure this out over the course of this game. Because, like, there's just a very good chance that I overrun my opponent here before they, like, with a Urza Saga and they concede this game. What are you doing over there? Like, is this just going to find a wasteland? Like, is that all this is? Yeah, it's a strip mine. Okay. That's fine. It's good. Destroying the Ancient Tomb instead of the Urza Saga. Okay. I don't know about that decision, because that allows me to get another artifact into play. Like, it kind of destroys 2 lands, but I wouldn't have... I don't know that I would have taken that line, is what I'm getting at here. A Prophetic Prism. I like that a lot, actually. I'm going to float colorless mana here. Is this a Soul Ring? This is probably a Soul Ring, given that I have another Urza Saga. So let's go Soul Ring. Use this mana to play Prophetic Prism, which gives me another draw. And let's see what this is. Unfortunately, it's another 0-drop that just gets countered by Chalice. So let's just play another Urza Saga, and we'll just defend my life total here, I think, by holding back the construct. I'm fine attacking with them as of next turn. I've got the cost of this thing reduced by 3 as well currently, so it costs 4. Can very easily cast that next turn. Okay. Sure. This is wild. Okay. I have a lot of stuff that's going to enter tapped. I don't think I care that much. So there is a giant creature. There is a tapped workshop. I think I can attack now. I am threatening so much damage on the backswing. I don't think I mind eating 2 damage here if my opponent attacks back and there's just like not creatures in the graveyard. Opponent's deck is wild. Absolutely wild. Oh, I should not actually F6. I have Force of Will in this deck. Okay, yeah, you can Abundant Harvest for a Bird of Paradise. That does not feel like the sort of thing my opponent wants to be top decking here. Alright. Are you crashing in for 2, or is that a chump blocker? You're crashing in for 2. Absolutely. That puts me to 12. But I just have... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe I don't make an Urza Saga Construct token here. Maybe I just float mana, use that to play Karn plus on Chalice. That probably wins in some capacity, given how much shit is in my hand. Yeah. Let's just float a mana. I don't think I want a mana Crypt or a Mana Vault. I think I'm just going to take a Sapphire here. Oh, right, it enters tapped. Forgot about that part. Okay, so let's convert that into a blue and play a Thought Monitor. Be a draw 2. Alice is on 0. This is fine. And just play an Expedition map and grow this stuff. Play another tapped Workshop. Bash in for 14. Seems pretty legit. Wouldn't be surprised to see a chump block here to just kind of make it so that like lethal is not close to guaranteed next turn. Although 1 construct hitting and Thought Monitor hitting is lethal. Yep. Stuff. Opponent can gain 1 life by eating their Bird of Paradise, just throwing that out there. They figured that out as well. And there is the concession. Okay, opponent is playing some wild hate shit. So is this a tempo root maze, or is there like some actual like stasis-esque combo lock to it? I don't know. This list is wild. I think I like Dismembers, just assuming something like Collector Oof ends up coming in this matchup. Maybe go down a Talisman like I've been doing in every round, and... Oh, I don't know what to do for the other one. The Coveted Jewel? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I would have been able to deploy this pretty easily. Had my opponent not have Chalice on 0 on the play. This is okay. I think balance is also maybe not crazy. But I am a little unsure about what my opponent has going on over there. So I think I'm going to sideboard minimally for this. Has 5 lands. I can maybe cast a turn 2 Time Walk and get an extra turn. I can't really take advantage of my extra turn at all. Just then explore. I think I need some actual gas in the hand. I'm going to mulligan that. I like this hand significantly better. I will probably just pitch a Prophetic Prism here. And keep the ability to Force of Will, a particularly powerful hate card. I'm going to let that resolve. And I'll see what my opponent does with it. Void Mirror. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no colored mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. I have to counter that currently. Because I have no... Like... I don't really have the ability to muck around with that right now. Like, opponent might have a better follow-up card that they play here, and if they do, like, so be it. That's annoying. That's not actually winning the game. Alright, there's an Opal. So Urza Saga is awkward here, right? So, like, I have 2 artifacts towards Metalcraft, not 3. Do I play an Urza Saga out anyway? I might play an Urza Saga out anyway. Becomes very good if I hit any 0-drop artifact. So I will vomit some spells onto the board and call it a turn. Hitting any 0-drop just means I pay 2, activate this, and, like, am good. Opponent running into their own root maze here. Alright, come on, 0-drop. Metamorph. Not exactly fantastic here. But I can get an Urza Saga on probably a empty or close to empty board. I am okay with that. And if I need to, I can get something like an Expedition map to search up another Urza Saga. I guess, like, I'm in trouble if my opponent has Force of Vigor and eats both of these. Sure. Nature's Claim is totally reasonable here. It does not feel like my opponent is playing Vintage to me, though. Like, they're playing some annoying things for me. Not actually all that big of a deal. So I'll go ahead and float a mana here. My one that's on 3 that I'm about to lose. We'll use this to pick up Soul Ring. It will enter tapped. That's okay. Then go play this. It will be tapped. Does this work the way I want it to? I guess let's find out. Or no, I'm one short of doing that anyway. Mox Opal is not on because I couldn't activate Urza Saga. Okay, that's fine. Like, is the Phyrexian mana counted as blue mana in this regard? It's super weird. Alright, are you gonna just snipe my Urza Saga so I don't get a token? Oh, they're going after the Soul Ring. Okay. Alright, so let's take a draw as a transmute artifact. Fantastic. I'll float a colorless mana here. Just get a Sapphire. And let's figure out how this interaction works. So this is Phyrexian blue. Let's see how this works out. Okay. That does counter it. Alright, now I know. That was worth trying for the information. I could have looked it up, but, like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm recording. I don't want to dig into the rules for 5 minutes. Simian Spirit Guide, absolutely. Let's take a draw, a Coveted Jewel. That's fine. Now this turn, I can do this. So let's just play a Metamorph, copy a Sapphire, be perfectly happy with that. Now this is on. I will have Transmute Artifact queued up, which is pretty cool. I can also just play Coveted Jewel, but I don't really feel like I need to do that. Okay, it is nighttime. So this enters tapped. I mean, playing Coveted Jewel into Transmute Artifact actually seems pretty sick. Or actually, this enters tapped. That's super weird. I'm not used to planning around Root Maze. Okay. Probably just get an Expedition map. Then go like 1, 2, 3. Transmute Artifact. Sacrifice the Opal. Use this. Where are you? Pick up an Expedition map. Paying the 1. Play Tolarian Academy. Call it a turn. And then I just use that to get a, like, third Urza Saga. Oh, looks like opponent has something else here. An Endurance, that's fine. Yeah, it looks like they are choosing to not mess with either graveyard here. Fine. Opponent can strip mine my Tolarian Academy, which I assume they're going to do. Get hit for 5, that's fine. I'll play an Urza Saga that will create creatures larger than these. It's a little slow. But it's, like, not bad. So let's crack map. Not going to be playing out Manafold here. Ooh, this is my last Urza Saga. I will not be playing out Manafold because it will enter tapped, and then I will actually take damage from it, which is something that I do not want to do. Hopefully, testing with that Metamorph does not cost me this game. Because it very realistically could if my opponent does something crazy. 5 this turn, followed by 7, then maybe be stable. Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty close. I've bricked off on a few draws here. Alright, what are we looking at? Time Walk. Does that do anything? Not immediately. But it probably does later. There's a world where I'm supposed to play the Mana Vault as well. Nature's Claim is pretty respectable. We'll go ahead and make my construct in response. But more than anything, that shrinking the size of my construct is actually annoying. That means I'm less able... Well, actually, not getting the second body is kind of rough. So I was planning on trying to make a second body and then Time Walk to untap. Yeah, I think playing that second Metamorph to like test this theory instead of just looking it up cost me. We'll see if I can wiggle out of this. I'm about to Time Walk. Do I need more mana? Or do I want a Manifold Key? Manifold Key plus Mana Vault is pretty cute. And gives me the out of top decking when it turns. Alright, let's do that. 2, 3. Time Walk. Undra. I will go ahead and play out the Mana Vault, I think. Oh, fuck, right. That. Crash in for 3, take my extra turn, see where we go. Void Mirror is actually kind of annoying. Alright, Thought Monitor is a very good draw. Costs 4, which I can pretty easily do. Yeah, so last turn in my head I went, oh, I just played a Tundra, I can use that for the colored mana, and like that obviously did not happen. Alright. Draw my cards. Can't quite deploy these here. This now has to stay back on blocking duty. I have a Manifold Key to untap this. So I can trade, or, well, so I can kill one creature and, well, okay. I have some options. I am not far away from stabilizing this game, but I'm still, like, absolutely in the situation where things can go wrong. Alright, are you crashing in with the team? Yes. In which case, I'm going to Manifold Key and untap this creature. Go to blocks. I'm going to block both Spirit Guides and take 3. And the reason why I'm doing this is because Thought Monitor is one of my artifacts. So when this dies, this is going to become a 3/3. And so I don't want this thing to die to Endurance. I want to leave this body around and then use colored mana or Prophetic Prism to get to the point where I can deal with this in combat next turn. Alright, good stuff. Otawara. You may or may not actually be a land that I play. Probably not. I can actually just play the Coveted Jewel as a draw 3. Very reasonably here. Let's do that. Oh fuck, no I can't. Root Maze. Alright. Blue and something not blue for Prophetic Prism. That just throws the old team into Awakener Duder, which should kill next turn. 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, maybe not quite. Alright. So I can go ahead and attack since I can untap with Manifold Key and Mox Sapphire. So this is fine. And then, okay, good, we're not dead to a second Endurance. There wasn't much I could do about that. Abundant Harvest is fine. Yeah, you can absolutely have your Bird of Paradise. Yep, that enters tapped. They're not taking an attack. Fantastic. Okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Can turn these into 4/4 flyers and be swinging in for 12-ish damage. I think I go ahead and do that. Like, that still leaves me with 2 creatures back plus a Force of Will backing it up. So, or I guess this doesn't get to block. Geez, it is so weird to be trying to play around Root Maze stuff. That is not a skill that I have acquired. So we're actually only getting 8 damage in here. But 8 damage feels like plenty right now. Okay, an opponent is going to take a chump. Fantastic. Alright, go to 9. I will have 9 power on board. Endurance may be forced into a chump block situation next turn. A Dryad Militant. Okay. Like, I have Manifold Key to untap my creatures, so, like, I think that's fine. And multiple Force of Wills to boot. So one of these necessitates a chump block. So I'll send in with both here. I'm not going to play anything else out pre-combat or anything. Okay, opponent is just going to die. I mean, you had the option to not die and try to continue the game. But all right. We are 4-0 and we are playing for a trophy. That's awesome. I wasn't expecting this. All right, round 5, playing for the trophy. This is probably fine. I'm going to keep this. The Transmute artifact probably pitches to a Force of Will in a lot of worlds here. Because then I can go like Jet, Pearl, Tundra, 1 mana, Emery, Expedition Map, or something like that. Ooh, we could be playing against an unfair deck this round. Been kind of crushing the more fair stuff here. Time Vault. Time Vault. All right. All right. Jet. Pearl. Tundra. I'm going to play the map before the Emery. I don't know, I'm just like randomly thinking about like Mindbreak Trap here. Play Emery. There's very much a world where I end up getting an Urza's Saga off. Excuse me? Twins? Twins? Anyway, there's very much a world where I end up getting an Urza's Saga off this expedition map and just playing towards having Vault Key and backing that up with Force of Will. But a lot of that depends on whether or not my opponent is playing a fair or unfair deck. Like, if they're playing fair, Expedition Map is kind of hot. So there was a tapping and untapping of this Underground Sea. Okay. Weird sequencing in terms of, like, tapping that mana prior to fetching, but I don't think it matters most of the time. Let's just go no. Let's just go no. If you want to fluster it, you can fluster it. But I don't think I want to deal with that there. Like, if they have combo in hand and they're looking for a force, I don't want to allow that. I don't really want to allow just Demonic Tutor for Ancestral either. I mean, surely I just attempt that, right? So just 3 mana, Tinker, sacrifice the Pearl. Days. Yeah. I mean, played around that earlier when I could. Can't pay for it now, but I can get a Pearl now that I have the ability to cast something. Like, Tinker's a sorcery, so I couldn't have played around this by doing my sequencing differently. I could have waited a turn to play around Days, but was absolutely just like jamming in that spot. Time Walk is horrifying here. Light of Hand, wow. Very surprised to see that make the cut in a vintage deck. So this does 1 top, or sorry, it does 1 into hand and 1 on the bottom of library. All right, what do you got? Don't know exactly what we're doing over there. Like, absolutely feels like blue-black combo of some kind, but I'm not... I don't know why Sleight of Hand is in there. Okay, so we're storming? Why does a storm deck need Sleight of Hand, though? Oh! Okay. Understood. So this card's scary. Just in case you haven't... all right, let's always yield to that, and then let's just pull this up. In case you haven't played against this before, you skip your draw step with this card, and whenever you would discard a card, you exile it instead. You can pay 1 life to exile the top card of your library face down, and you can put it into your hand at the beginning of your next end step. So my opponent activated Necro a whole bunch of times, and then we see this happen. Let's just go ahead and always yield to that. An opponent has a whole bunch of cards. I do have a win condition in Graveyard. I can't quite fully take advantage of it, but I can with certain rips. So, for example, ripping a Tolarian Academy or an Urza Saga lets me kind of bash in there with it. Okay, yeah, and notice the cards that they are discarding due to hand size are now going to exile. Ancient Tomb. That gets me up to 5 mana, which is not quite where I want to be. So I assume I probably die on my opponent's next turn. Okay. Let's activate the map. What all can this bounce? Artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. I'm 1 mana short of bouncing a Necro. In which case, I'm going to get a Tolarian Academy. I'm going to grab an expedition map. Play out the Academy. Use the Undra to play expedition map. Tap Tolarian Academy for 3 mana. And use that to play a Time Vault. Alright. So next turn, I can tap this for 4. Go 5, 6. Play this from graveyard and attack for lethal. So I have lethal on board. It feels like opponent has drawn enough cards that I should die. But we'll see. Yeah, Doomsday makes it easy here. Alright, so 40 cards go to the exile zone, and opponent should have a pretty easy way to kill me here. I imagine it's something like Ancestral into Lotus into Thassa's Oracle. Like, it really can just be that easy. Okay, there's a Gitaxian Probe. That draws them the first card from the Doomsday. There's the Ancestral. There's a land. There's a Lotus. And now we'll see Thassa's Oracle. Maybe they draw one more card first. I guess the sleight of hand is just one more thing they can use to manipulate size of Doomsday piles. Okay. Alright, really wanted to win game 1 there. I think I want to board in Canonists, Rhinosphere. Defense Grid is reasonable in some ways and unreasonable in others because this is symmetrical and it makes my Force of Will worse. I am very much just looking to kill my opponent. Unfortunately, most things are not good at stopping Doomsday. Like, the card/strategy is very hard to hate out. What's bad? Karn's okay just as Karn. Like, just as, like, thing that shuts off artifacts and does very little else. Actually, most of my cards are reasonable. Use Transmute Artifact as a potential tutor for these things. Probably get away with cutting a Talisman like I'm doing every round, although it is a white source for Aethersworn Canonist, and I don't actually have that many white sources. Actually, JK, I don't think I can get away with that. Probably just, like, cut a top. Yeah, I don't think I get to cut a white source. I don't think I get to cut any white sources if I am bringing in a Soul Ring. Or sorry, Aethersworn Canonists. Coveted Jewel is pretty free to play out here. My opponent's not going to pressure me. I probably keep all those. Could go down on something like Metamorph pretty reasonably. Metamorph does a little bit of everything, but, like, kind of doesn't excel on its own. Metamorph copying things like Trinisphere and Canonists, so my opponent can't easily answer them is cool. This is kind of tough. Could reasonably be Emery, but, like, Emery is just, like, a very good card. Could cut one of these. Although it's just, like, a very fast Goldfish and a way to surprise kill if my opponent passes the turn. Alright, let's try something like this. I'm not super optimistic about my chances in the matchup, just generally speaking, though. Holy shit. This is probably going to be a keep. I have to figure out how to play this hand. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. And it's really hard to play. In terms of, like, whether or not I just crack the Black Lotus on turn 1, or whether I wait until next turn. Like, I think I'm always doing that. And I'm always doing this, and then the question is, like, do I just attempt Tinker off Lotus on turn 1? I'm going to cast the Lotus and see where that goes. Fuck it, I didn't come here to not Tinker, right? Alright, let's do it. Alright, there's a cycle of Street Wraith. Opponent did not hit. Alright, do I just Bolas a Citadel, or do I just, like, start on a Trinisphere and just say, like, fuck you? I think I'm going to start on a Citadel. I could start on a Coveted Jewel. Nah, I'll start on Citadel. Alright. There's an Emery. Mill some cards. Alright, we're going. Alright, we're the combo deck here. Absolutely. How does this work? Yeah. Straight up cast that. How much do you currently cost? You cost 4. I could draw the Force of Will. I can also just Time Walk. Actually, Time Walk seems really good. Let's Time Walk. Alright. We'll go to the extra turn. I'll get a Tolarian Academy in play. I'll have a Force of Will in hand. This is disgusting. Actually, do I just want to play Mishra's Workshop? I'll just play Mishra's Workshop. I think that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Are you 1 mana yet? No. You're a billion mana still. So let's go Emery. Put Black Lotus into play. Like, I don't need that much blue mana right now, but, like, it's a thing. Now I will pay this for a reduced cost. Take my Divination. And unfortunately fizzle out a little bit. But this is effectively turn 1, so I think that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permanents in play. I'm getting pretty close to just like Bolas, Citadel, laser my opponent, and then they can't win with a Doomsday. So that's really cool. What you got? Let that happen. I think I let that happen. Weird, because like, then discard can be a thing that happens. Do I let a Doomsday resolve? I don't think I do. I will still just force that, despite how tempting it is to just like let that resolve and try to Bolas' Citadel my opponent out. Alright, there's a Gataxian Probe. Sort of seems like that should have happened first, but I don't know the contents of my opponent's hand. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh-ho. So now, let's Canonist. Yeah, that was very much worth it. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, so if opponent resolved that Doomsday, they would have just died to me activating Bolas' Citadel. Is there any fuckery I can do on the draw to help with this? I could, like, Pithing Needle Necro or something? Well, there's not really a lot I can do. Yeah. I don't know, like, there's worlds where I can just, like, cast a Balance as something that destroys a land or two. But, like, when the Doomsday pile involves just, like, Black Lotus Thassa's Oracle as, like, the key to it, it doesn't matter that my opponent doesn't have that many lands. So, like, eh. What if I treat this like a discard spell? Like, I empty my hand and I cast Balance as, like, a discard 3 or something. Trying to decide if that's, like, genius or crazy person. It really doesn't feel to me like Metamorph matters too much. So, let's do that. I draw the Balance and I'm, like, 1 artifact short of Metalcraft or something. And, like, it costs me the trophy, like, so be it. It'll be funny. Oh no. That doesn't quite work. It has really cool individual pieces, but I can't cast this Canonist. I think this one goes back. It's so fucking close. Like, this is so much mana. Like, there's a lot of force here, but I don't think this one does it. How does this one do? God, this hand's also fucking weird. Any 0 or 1 cost artifact makes this hand very good. How many hits is that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Assuming I didn't board any out. I did not. So I have 15 hits to make this super reasonable. Do I go to 5? Do you try to find something that is, like, consistent? Or do I just keep something that has, like, 15 outs and probably 2 draws to hit them? I probably just keep that. And I will pitch one of these 2 cards. I'm probably just going to pitch the Transmute artifact since it is blue-blue. I don't know. There's a world where I just pitch Aethersworn Canonist there and say, like, I'm pretty unlikely to hit white. But, like, the times where I hit Mox Pearl are just, like, so strong. Alright. There goes Force of Will. So, shields are down here. Need the top of the deck to deliver. A Sensei's Divining Top is quite good. Okay, we'll just go ahead and put that into play here. and see where this goes. So this is gonna help me fix, but it doesn't actually get me to Urza Saga Construct token next turn. It gets me to Time Walk next turn, which is reasonable, but not outright game winning. 0-drop artifact on top would be pretty cool. If I can ask for Mox Pearl, like, absolutely not saying no. Of course it will. Of course it will's cool. So let's go land drop, 2 mana, Time Walk. Getting a Force of Negation. Do I force back? If I force back, I can upkeep spin top with Urza's Saga mana, look at top 3 cards, take the best draw of them, tutor a mana source to let me cast Aethersworn Canonist. I think I will go ahead and make that trade here. If a daze or something happens. Like, opponent can fight harder over this. Whether or not they do is an entirely different story. Alright, after a very, very long pause, it looks like opponent is going to let this Time Walk resolve. Alright, I will go ahead and look in upkeep with this. Emery? Just for raw mana efficiency, I think. Grab that Emery. Take the draw. Dunk the Urza Saga. We are looking for a white source here. That is Mox Pearl. I'm not ready for Opal yet. And there's Pearl. So there's 2, 3 mana. I'm going to cast the Aethersworn Canonist around a daze. And note, this is an artifact spell, so I am still okay to play my Emery afterwards. Emery mills Trinisphere. Hot fucking damn. That's such a good hit. Now, we're not 100% out of the woods. Opponent could just play a land, cast a Doomsday, and build a pile that kills me over 2 turns or something. But this is very good for me. Okay, and we are going to see that. The opponent has all the onboard information in the world, right? Like, they know that I am going to have both Trinisphere and Canonist in play. And they have 3 lands. I guess there's also a world where I just try to attack my opponent exactly 3 times. Because turning the, like, tapping Emery for Trinisphere is a little weird in that, like, it significantly changes my own clock. I guess I can look with top in my upkeep and kind of make an informed decision based on that. So Lotus is not in their pile. That has not become a part of the plan. I mean, like a Hercules recall could, I guess. All right, let's look with top. And I can make Mystic Forge. I have 3 mana, so I can't actually play that Mystic Forge this turn. Actually, I can tap for 3 mana, draw Manafold, go down to 2 mana, go up to 4 mana, Mystic Forge, play top for 1 life, tap for 1 life, remove Mishra's Workshop. Is this just better than playing Trinisphere, though? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Okay. I'm going to order this like this, put the Mana Vault on top, draw 3 mana, Mana Vault, 5 mana. I have some extra mana here. I'm going to look at top now that I can go 1 card deeper. Leaving Mental Misstep on top is interesting. Oh, that's so fucking weird. Like, it's very likely that opponent has Ancestral. God, do I play this Trinisphere now that I have Mental Misstep on top? Man, if I had 1 more mana, I could, like, play Mystic Forge, do top. I can play Mystic Forge, exile top to Mental Misstep if my opponent plays Ancestral. Yeah, so Ancestral is not in here anyway, so it is absolutely in my opponent's pile. Yeah. Misstep on top, then Mystic Forge. Tap, draw a card, Mystic Forge. There is a top on top of my library. Oh wait, fuck, this doesn't work. I just talked myself into something stupid. I can't cast the Mental Misstep off the top. Oh, that was fucking dumb. Alright, I just fucked that up. Yeah, I just fucked that up. God damn it. Just punted my trophy. Alright. Yeah, so I was supposed to just leave the um the top in play to draw Mental Misstep, not cast Trinisphere, and just like leave the Mystic Forge out of the equation. Oh my god, my opponent just punted instead! Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Yep. So, expertly navigated 5-0, no punts from either side of the battlefield here. Absolutely did not just like punt again by not just immediately redeploying Aethersworn Canonist either. So like there's that. Yeah, okay. Roller coaster of emotion there for the 5-0. Just like absolutely pooped myself, punted the football, opponent punted the football right back. We had a good old game of sports ball there. Okay. All right. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Despite the fact that I 5-0'd, I don't know how much I actually like this deck list. Like, Tinker is a fucking powerful magic card. It is, like, absolutely restricted in Vintage for good reason. This card is absurd. I feel like I have a good set of cards with overlapping utility, but there's a lot of blue Tinker decks that look various ways and have like various good and bad matchups. And I don't know how much having this as just an I kill you button is better than what the other blue Tinker decks are offering. Like, we could have more interaction, we could have an alternative combo plan like PO. Like, is this the thing that I want to do? I didn't mess around with Coveted Jewel a lot in this league. I think this card is probably better than it looks. I sideboarded it out a couple of times. Maybe that's not something that I should have been doing. I'm not 100% sure, given the number of games that I played with this deck. I'm also not sure how many cards it's correct to dedicate to this Karn suite. For example, like, is this worth it in Vintage? Like, I get that this is something that can kill, like, Ragavans and very rarely something like a Ledger Shredder, but like it can kill Deathrite Shamans, Collector Oofs, or whatever. Like, is this worth the slot? The answer is maybe. Like, Collector Oof is a very real card. Like, having a Karn answer that's like reasonable there is fine, but like this is a huge portion of my sideboard dedicated to a one of, and like I get that you want that one of to be good, but like how much is too much? That's a question that I have here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am going to go and, maybe have a celebratory / shame drink, whichever one that is supposed to be after that awful, awful punt. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please click the like button and come back tomorrow for more awesome combo content where we see if we can maybe try to pick up a trophy in Modern. Have a great rest of the night, Vintage folks, or afternoon, or whatever. See ya!